Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a one branded tutorial and majority of this is first impressions as well. So I thought I would do this all on camera for you guys and give you my first impressions on some new products that I am going to try from Tarte. There is one or two products that I don't have from Tarte that I'm using alternatives. But other than that, everything else, brushes included, so let's get started. So first things first is to prime my face. And I don't have a primer from Tarte, so I'm going to go in with my Bare Minerals Blemish Ready Mattifying Primer. Purely because I just don't have a primer from Tarte, although I have seen their poreless primer that I do kind of want to try out. But for the meantime, and for this video, we're using Bare Minerals. And as you can tell, I already have my eyebrows on, and that's purely because I don't have any Tarte products for my brows, so I've done these off camera, plus it's just more efficient, more time efficient because I take so long to do my brows. Next is foundation, and I will be using the Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation in the shade Light Neutral. When I got this, I realised that this might actually be a shade too dark, but we're going to try. I have my beauty blender and I also have the brush that goes with it, so I'm going to do one side of my face with the brush and the other side with a beauty blender and see which one works best or if they are exactly the same. Yeah, this is definitely a shade too dark, but at the time they wasn't really selling any other lighter shades, so I went with it and winged it and thought, if I'm going to get tanned in the summer, at least I've got a foundation that's darker. But yeah, this is buffing that really nicely. I like what I see. Just blend it down my neck so I don't get any awkward tan lines. It does look a bit patchy here, but normally my face in this region doesn't actually take pigment very well, so I'm not too surprised with that. I don't think it's full coverage whatsoever. I do feel like it's buildable, but it's definitely not a full coverage foundation. I have a lot of freckles on my face, if you can't tell, and I have a lot of blemishes because I think I'm going through an allergic reaction to some of my skincare. I have no idea. I don't know if it's like allergic reaction or if it's sunburn. But recently, I think it's more to do with sunburn, but recently, all of a sudden, every time I use my Nip and Fab glycolic exfoliant wipes, parts of my face start to burn, which is normally the first sign of a allergic reaction to a product, but it's only in certain places and it's only been the last 2 or 3 times of using it, so I think it's just sunburn. But I do have a lot of blemishes and I do have a lot of freckles, so that's how I can gauge if it's a full coverage foundation or not. I do have a patch here that looks quite cakey. I can still see like my red spots and freckles here and on my forehead. I don't know how I feel about it so far. With the brush, it just seems like, I feel like the brush is distributing it very well, but I do feel in this area here it's very patchy, and the more times I try and blend it out, definitely here there's like a darker spot here. Every time I try and blend it, it's just picking up the foundation from everywhere else and just taking it away. So I'm going to try it with a beauty blender now. It seems to be more smooth appearing now. It doesn't seem to be as clumpy. It's still patchy, I think, and it's definitely still not full coverage. I can still see scars of blemishes that I've had in the past. Don't know if I need to apply the foundation directly to my skin and then use the brush. Obviously I've just put it straight on the brush and then onto my skin, so I don't know if that's something to do with that, for it not being smooth. But it does look a whole lot smoother now, for sure. on this side. Taking a closer look, it does seem that this side looks a whole lot smoother with the Beauty Blender, and this side just looks a lot patchy. Here it just looks like the foundation has just been picked up and just left and just not blended out. I've got a patch here that just doesn't want to blend, so I'm just going to go over this side with my Beauty Blender just to try and even it out. But next I'm going in with concealer, and this is the Rainforest of the Sea Aquacealer in the shade Fair. As you can tell, this is a lot lighter than the foundation. So hopefully this will cover the patchiness underneath my eyes. So I'm just going to apply it underneath my eyes. I like how it's a really big like doe foot applicator. I really like that. So far I like the concealer, it blends out very nicely. So that's the concealer done. I do feel that it's given me a lot more coverage underneath the eye. It hasn't brightened my under eye or anything like that, it's just given me a little bit more coverage. It's very hard to see any freckles or blemishes where I've put the concealer. It's blended out really nicely. So definitely like the concealer as of right now. So for face powder, I'm going to be using the Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Tinted Press Finishing Powder in the shade Fair, and I have used this so many times before in the past, so this isn't a first impressions. I absolutely love this powder. It is tinted, so for me, I don't need too much of it because it will make me look quite orange if I apply too much of it. And I'm going to apply it with my foundation bamboo brush, and I'm just going to pat it all over, concentrating more around my T-zone but not too much around the exterior part of my face, because my T-zone is where I get the oiliest, so I obviously want that to stay more matte and more flawless than the rest of my face. But I will be using a powder contour, so in a sense that will be setting the rest of my face anyway. So next I'm going to go and contour my face, and for this I'm going to be using the latest addition. This is the Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. I absolutely love the packaging. It reminds me of a very tribal Amazonian Aztec-y vibe, and this is what the palette looks like on the inside. You have 3 contour shades, you have 3 highlighting shades, and then you have 6 eyeshadows, but really you can use the eyeshadows as a contour or the contour shades as an eyeshadow. It really doesn't matter. So I am going to go in with the shade Desert, which is this middle one here, on the Bronze and Glow double-ended Tarte brush. So I'm just going to pick that up and just contour. I'm having a bad hair day, can you tell? Hence why I've got my hair in fun buns as of right now. Next I'm going to do my blush, and I'm going to be using the Amazonian Clay 24-Hour Blush in the shade Captivate, which is this really pretty bright peach corally tone, and I don't have a Tarte blush brush, so I'm going to go in with my Bare Minerals one. Concentrating the product on the apples of my cheek, I'm then going to sweep it down into the contour, and that just gives me a more of a natural flushed look. Next I'm going to go in with my Spellbound Glow Rainbow Highlighter. This is limited edition, and look how pretty this highlighter is. And again, I don't have a highlighting brush, so I'm going to go with my e.l.f. highlighting brush. And I am just going to swirl all the colours together, because I think it will look a lot pretty. And it just gives you such an intense glow. And I love it. Absolutely love it. And I'm just going to brush a little bit above my brow as well. Like so. But it just, that's beautiful. It just gives you such an iridescent glow, and it's not like a peachy glow or like a gold glow or a pink glow. It's just, it just hits the light perfectly. So that's my face makeup done. I am just going to set my face. with the NYX Matte Finishing Spray because I don't have a finishing spray from Tarte. So moving on to the eyes and going back into my Clay Play palette, I am going to be picking up the shade Journey, which is this really nice nudie beige matte colour on a Spectrum BO6 brush. Also, I'm going to be going into the blush again as well, so I'm just going to pick up the blush a little bit and the shade Journey, like I said. I'm just going to apply it to my crease. These eyeshadows are very, very pigmented, so a little bit does go a long way. And the blush just gives it more of a pink rose tone, not so much a full nude. Going back into my palette, I'm going to be picking up the shade Stone, and this is a very pretty matte chocolatey shade. And I'm going to be using the Real Techniques XS brush. This is a tapered brush, and I'm just going to concentrate this shade in the outer corner and crease. And I'm going back with my BO6 brush just to blend all those colours together. So now that I am happily done with my outer corner and crease, I am now going to go into the limited edition Sex Kitten palette, and I'm going to be picking up this shade right here, and this is called Secret. It's such a shimmery champagne colour, and I'm just going to apply it with my Spectrum AO6 brush all over the lid where we haven't already applied a shadow. That colour for a shimmer colour is very, very pigmented, and I can't see a lot of fallout, if any. Let me have a closer look. Okay, that shimmer shade has a little bit of fallout, but the matte colours or the blush has no fallout whatsoever. I'm just going to brush away any fallout that I may have. So going in with this Real Techniques XXXS point brush, this very, very small detail pencil brush, I am now going to go and pick up both shades Journey and Stone, and I'm going to apply it to my bottom lash. Again, not needing too much because these are very, very pigmented indeedy. I'm going to be picking up the shade called Solstice. It's a very nice, pretty cream colour, and I'm just going to apply that with an A12 brush under my brow just to highlight it, because we don't want to lose those brows and all this eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to go in with my Light Camera Lashes Close Up Lash Liner, and this is a retractable co-liner in the shade Black, and I'm just going to run this through my waterline. Because my waterline is a little bit too watery, the liner isn't sticking, so I'm going to go in with this dark matte burgundy shade called Wildcat from the Sex Kitten palette with my XXXXS point Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to darken it underneath my lashes. So now that the eyeshadow is done, I'm now going to do my liner and lashes off of camera, because one, they are not Tarte, and two, they just take forever. It's more efficient if I do it off camera. But I'll be back in 2 minutes. So I am back. My lashes are still drying in the corners, and I have just coated my lower lashes off camera as well by accident. I got a little bit too ahead of myself, but I went in with the Lights Camera Splashes waterproof mascara. I love it, actually. It coats all my lashes nicely, not too clumpy like some mascaras are like really clumpy, and it makes a difference because I've never really gone towards waterproof mascaras like ever, so I like this one a lot. But I will say, since doing my eye makeup and doing my lashes off camera, I have noticed that the foundation is starting to break away in this crevice I hate that word, but in like the joining here of my nose, it's starting to break away and crack and just look a bit cakey. But for the rest of my face, it looks okay. I don't think this is for oily or combinated skin. I am starting to get a bit dewy and a little bit more shiny, but so far so good. So the last thing I need to do is my lips. So I'm going to go in with the Tarte Lip Sculpture Lipstick and Lip Gloss Duo in the shade Kitten, and I have used this quite a few times off camera. This is such a beautiful nude shade, and the lip gloss is fantastic as well. So this is the lipstick by itself. I will go in with the lip gloss just to the centre of my lips, just to give my mouth a little bit more of a fuller puckered look without having to get lip injections. If you are interested in any of the products in this tutorial, whether I like them or not, or if you just want to go out and try them for yourselves, all of the Tarte range that I have used today is amazing. The foundation could have been better if it was in my shade, and maybe if I applied it a bit better, but by all means try these products out. They are really good. So everything will be listed down below for you guys with links. And if you like this video, then click the thumbs up, comment down below and subscribe. I upload every Tuesday. If you have any suggestions on any other makeup that you want to see me try out, then comment them down below. Other than that, I hope you are having a good day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.